Hey everybody, what's up? It's Chelsea Texera. I'm your host of Up to Date, and this week we are so excited to be interviewing Jay Croft. He is a local, talented, travel, mindful mogul, and I can't wait to share with you all the amazing places he's been. Our delicious cocktail of a week inspired by his travels called Life's a Beach, and we are so excited to keep you up to date. Welcome back to Up to Date. I'm your host, Chelsea Texera, and today I am so excited to welcome our very first male guest. His name is Jay Croft. Thank you so much for joining us. Cheers.
Stoked to be here.
Woohoo! And today we are drinking a very special cocktail that I created called Life's a Beach, inspired by this man and all of his amazing travels that we are going to dive right in and talk about. Woohoo!
Wow.
Love a good refreshing peach, don't we?
That is amazing. Yeah, it tastes like a gummy ring. Childhood memories right here.
Gummies are my absolute favorite. So speaking of memories and childhood, where are you from? I know you're not from San Diego, so why don't you tell us a little bit about where you started out and how you got here?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
Actually, Tumwater. It's like a really small community. It's like an hour south of Seattle. And yeah, it was a great childhood. But I always knew, eventually a bird has to fly away from the nest. So
That's
I've
right.
just always been, like you mentioned the beach, I've always been driven to the ocean and the beach. And when I came to San Diego, I was like, all right, this is it. So yeah, now I'm here.
Do you have access to the ocean up there at all, or?
It's more of like an inlet, so it's called the Puget Sound.
Okay.
So there's no
I've heard of that.
Yeah, there's no waves, but there's water. So, but it's different. It's a different vibe for sure.
So I know I've been to the Oregon coast. It's kind of more rocky. Is there sand up there, or is it still kind of the same
if you drive
vibe,
if you drive a couple hours, you can get to the sand. But where I'm from, it's all rocky inlets and harbors and stuff. So
okay.
I don't know, it's beautiful, but I've just always been drawn to that beach community, the surf vibe and stuff like that. So
totally.
Yeah.
Well, the whole West Coast is absolutely gorgeous. You get a little bit of different taste every mile you head up the coast, right?
Right.
But so there's nothing like San Diego, as we talked a little bit about before we started. So tell us what brought you here, how long you've been here, and what you think about it so far.
Yeah. So like we mentioned before this, I've always been whenever I'm living somewhere, I always have the travel bug. I'm dude, I gotta get out of here and travel. But when I came to San Diego, that wasn't the case. I was just I want to be here, I want to stay here. And of course, I still want to travel and stuff. But I feel like this is the best home base because it's a great place to leave, but it's
a vacation.
It's a better place to come back to. You're right. It feels like you're always on vacation. So I actually came here in June. 2 years ago now.
Okay.
On vacation, and I was wow, I didn't know this place even, I knew there was San Diego, but I didn't know how amazing this place was. Being from Washington, I always thought, oh, LA, when you think of California. But when I got here, the energy and the people, and I don't know, I was just so drawn to
weather.
It. Yeah, and I remember I was sitting over on Law Street, just on the benches, and I was all right, I'm gonna make this place my home. And then a few months later, I just made it happen.
Thoughts become things.
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah. Yep, you create your own reality, so.
Absolutely. So yeah, cheers to that, honestly. I am such a law of attraction girl.
Cheers. Same.
Yeah, totally.
Same. And that's part of what my brand is as well.
So that is so exciting. So tell us a little bit about your company. That is amazing. And I'm sure tons of our San Diego listeners and probably our mindful listeners all across the world are going to super love this and want to jump in on it and learn more about it.
Yeah, 100%. No, I appreciate you having this platform and me being able to talk about what I'm passionate about. So my brand is called Mindful Society. And it's all about, so our thing is about demystifying mindfulness through apparel. Because, when you think of meditation or law of attraction, you just think people are oh, they're hippies, you know what I mean? And it's just this woo-woo out there type of subject.
Woo-woo is always the word I think people think of, and it's so not that.
Right. And we wanted, our whole mission was to create clothing that was cool, that mainstream people could wear and be proud of it. So our shirts say grateful and all we have is now. And this one says exist, crossed out, live. So it's really all about demystifying mindfulness and coming out with cool products that people are excited to rock. And then also we donate to mental health awareness as well.
That's amazing.
So we have 3 or 4 charities that we're working with, and we donate a portion of all the profits to them. But it's really all about just like positive affirmations, because I was always like, a shirt's like a walking billboard. Like, why not?
A mindful reminder.
Right, exactly. That's the whole vision. Like, why not have a shirt that, you know, sparks a positive emotion in people? And so
Totally.
that's kind of where the vision, you know, came about. And I was actually in Bali when we had the idea, and it didn't get materialized for like, you know, 6 or 7 months later. But yeah, we ended up raising $10,000 on Kickstarter.
Wow.
With like we had no marketing funds or anything. And yeah, we just launched about 2 months ago, and it's been a grind. It's been a journey, but yeah, it's very fulfilling, and I'm just stoked on it. So
that is so cool. Well, cheers to you. It is no easy
Thank you.
feat to make your dreams become a reality, but honestly, if you believe in it and work towards it, then it's going to materialize, and that's what being mindful is in essence, right? Being mindful of what you want and every day working towards it, putting one foot in front of the other.
100%.
And so that is amazing, because a lot of people, I feel like, talk about what they want to do, but sometimes fail or afraid or procrastinate because they don't think it's going to happen for them.
Right.
So you are obviously just a walking billboard for you can do whatever you want to do.
100%.
And I love the message. It's amazing.
Thank you.
And you came to a perfect place to spread that message, because I think down here, like, San Diegans are all about that.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, it's all about like just setting that clear intention, because I've always been into business and entrepreneurship, but I was selling products that I wasn't passionate about. Like, I was like, it was just like a money grab, you know? And I feel like that's a lot of business these days, is just trying to make a quick buck. And so when I had this idea, I was like, okay, this is something that's actually purposeful and actually fulfilling and is actually going to help the world.
Yeah.
And then I went all in on it. Like, I dropped all my other business ideas, and yeah, so now we're here, and I'm excited to see where it leads.
Focus makes the hocus pocus, makes the magic happen.
Exactly. And just having that like clear intention, and really like putting out to the universe exactly what you want, and having a clear intention, like, it'll happen for you as long as you take the action. Like, the steps will just, you know, seamlessly be there for you, and it'll just materialize for you. So
if you decide, then buckle up for the ride, because it's gonna happen. Ooh,
that's a shirt idea right there.
Cheers to that. Hey, cheers to that.
Wait, what was it again?
If you decide, buckle up for the ride, because it's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh.
We might be able to tweak that a little bit, but I'm a sucker for a good rhyme. So.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, your move to San Diego is like that. Like, every single person, even Dylan, our amazing producer of the show, he made the decision long ago. He's from the East Coast. He said, I'm going to come to San Diego, and all you have to do is have the thought and then follow through.
Exactly.
So, amazing. So, okay, so you've been here for a year and a half now. So you came about 2 years ago, and you said, I'm going to make this happen. You made it happen quickly, obviously.
Yep.
And then what I love to start every show with is asking everyone what are their top 3 favorite places they've traveled to.
Cool.
Obviously, San Diego is one of our top favorite places, because we live here and we love it. But outside of San Diego, where are your top amazing places that you would want anyone to go to?
I mean, okay, so my top 3, they sound cliche, because like every other influencer, like travel girl has been there, but it's for a reason. Like, the hype is real, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd say my top 3 is Bali, Hawaii, and Tulum.
Okay.
So, yeah, those are my top 3.
Our beach boy over here, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start. I've actually been to all of those but Tulum. It's definitely high on my list, so I can't wait to talk about all of them. So as far as Bali, we talked about that on our first episode, but I mean, you could talk about Bali for days.
Yeah.
I went for 4 days probably 2 years ago, and it was fantastic, but I could have stayed for a month, if not longer. I mean, I know tons of people who go and live there. It's absolutely gorgeous. So tell us about that trip.
Yeah, so I was actually there it was a total of 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I just took a one-way, and I was like, I'm just going to ride it out and like see how it goes.
Were you by yourself, or?
I was with my girlfriend, and then we actually had like 3 buddies with 3 of my friends were with us, and then like
Whole
a couple
crew.
more. Yeah, a couple more came like a month later, so it was fun.
So how was your flight there? Because for me, I know I had to have a couple layovers, and it's kind of an ordeal, but once you get there, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, the travel lulls are real. Like, going through, I mean, yeah, the flight was a journey for sure, for sure. I'd gone to, that was like my first really long flight. I guess I went to Thailand too, but yeah, it was. I mean, my
I did that in the same trip, Thailand and Bali.
Yeah.
Did you say your back was destroyed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
But the minute you get off that plane, you're just like stoked, no matter how you feel. So it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so where did you guys go in Bali? Because Bali is actually large. There's like lots of different areas to go. And
it is, yeah. So our home base, where we usually stayed, was in Canggu.
Okay. Canggu.
Yeah. So
It's spelled like Kangoo.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But we have an expert here, Canggu. Okay.
Canggu, yeah. So we ended up staying in a villa. We just found like an Airbnb, and we split it between like 4 of us, like I said, or 4 or 5. I can't remember the exact total.
And
so
it's pretty inexpensive.
Dude, it ended up being like $200 US each a month. So.
Woo! Out of state, at least 2 months. Wow.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you can find a group to go with you, everything is like exponentially cheaper. So.
Right.
But yeah, we had like a villa, and we had like our own maid and our private pool and like no neighbors, and she did our laundry every day, and it was just incredible. Really? Yeah, it was insane, and that was like really opened my mind to like, I don't know, like you can have this amazing quality of life as long as you're like willing to take the leap and, you know, experience it. So, I don't know, it was really fun.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And so did you guys all stay that whole time, all the friends and?
So we originally came with like 3 of us, and then a couple others came later. Mm-hmm. So we had like our core squad that we were with the whole time, like cruising around the mopeds and going wherever.
Mopeds terrify me.
And then we made friends while we were there too, who like came in and out the villa and stuff like that. But yeah, we had mentioned the mopeds. We had like 3 or 4 crashes between our group too.
Oh gosh, I have anxiety even thinking about it.
Yeah, luckily like no one got too hurt, but yeah.
That's good.
I love Bali though, just like the energy there. There's like like everyone's just very excited to be there, so it feels like there's like a collective consciousness of just like excitement, and it's
good
just
vibes.
Yeah, there's just a vibe in the air, like you can't explain it unless you're there.
It's peaceful.
Right.
It's
you're
peaceful.
Right.
It's like sacred. It's like a really it's hard to explain unless you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said earlier, the hype is real.
Yes.
Like
100%.
There's no way anyone would go to Bali and I don't think have a good time. So.
Yeah. No, I agree.
What was your favorite thing that you did there?
Favorite thing I did there, I would say probably the Nusa Islands. Did you go out to like Nusa Penida?
No, you know we didn't. So we spent 2.5 weeks in Thailand and spent like 4.5 days in Bali.
Okay.
And so I will definitely be going back to both
You have
places,
to.
Thailand and Bali. But no, we just did kind of like the main. We did Ubud and
Okay.
went down to Canggu for a day, but definitely needed much more time there.
Yeah, no, I'd say the Nusa Islands, like, they're outlying islands, so it's like Nusa Penida, I don't know how to pronounce them, Chenagon, and one other one, but...
Hey, you taught me something today with Canggu, I was like...
Yeah, but that was probably my favorite place, because that was like, it was just incredible. I was like, how is this place real, you know, like, just see, I don't know, it was crazy, but, yeah.
Very cool, okay. Yeah. So we went to, have you been to Thailand?
I have, yeah.
So we did those big pool boats, the wooden boats, to Krabi and Koh Phi Phi. Like,
yep.
So is that kind of the vibe over there too, or like how did you guys get out to the islands?
Yes,
yeah.
Very similar vibe. Yeah, you get on like well, they don't have the like Thailand wood boats,
mm-hmm.
but it's similar. Like you get on like a charter boat and you can go around but it's not like Thailand where you like get a taxi boat
right.
and like have that experience. But it's similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you surf?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
You seem like a surfer.
Yeah, I picked up surfing a lot more since I went to San Diego, but I did surf in Bali. But those waves are like, it was scary. It was scary.
Why is it scary?
Just because it's like advanced breaks.
Oh, they're big.
Yeah, big waves, sharp reefs, and...
Ooh, that's scary. Yeah,
but
I don't want any of that.
I think if I went back, I'd give it a shot. But I don't know.
Oh, cool. Okay, so we love Bali. The consensus is there. Tell us about Tulum.
Yeah.
That's right in our backyard here, San Diegans.
Yeah, it is. And San Diegans, travel tip, fly out of Tijuana, go over the Cross-Border Express, and you'll save like, I don't know, our round trip was less than $200, I think, to Tulum, just because we went over the Cross-Border Express, and you don't have to go through the border or anything. So book out of Tijuana if you're going to Tulum. But Tulum was amazing. It's like, it's similar to Bali in like the feel that it's like very like sacred, and the energy is just amazing, and there's all these like boho stores and restaurants, and like, you know, you have like gurus and practitioners and like all these like sound healing and like, yeah, it's just like the energy there is amazing. I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, I love Tulum.
How many times have you been there?
I've only been there once.
Once? Okay,
yeah.
And how long did you stay?
I was there for, I think, a week, and that's like, yeah, I was there for a week, and like, I was gonna say, like, I haven't been to a ton of countries because I like to stay there for like a long, extended amount of time, because I feel like you can't really judge a place based on like a week. Like,
right.
There's so much to see and so much to do, so like, whenever I try to travel somewhere, I want to stay there for like 2-3 weeks or whatever, just to really experience the culture in the place and like get a full scope and perspective of it. So that's another travel tip, is to really experience a full place. Like, I would suggest going for like 10 days at least.
Absolutely. So one of my favorite travel tips that I learned myself, just like by living it, is that I've gone on several solo trips, and so basically every time I'd go, like I've gone my favorite length of a trip is like 2.5 to 3 weeks, especially if I'm by myself, because I'm kind of like ready to. I mean, I make friends and it's amazing, but I will say this: like I always have booked at least 2 days longer than I want it to be, because something will happen either with a flight or you know, you just don't, like, you end up finding something that you didn't even know you wanted to do, and how sad is it to not know if you ever are going to be able to come back. So I say, like, definitely splurge on an extra day or two or a couple extra days to make sure that you get to experience everything that you can, because you really only live once.
Yes, so very true.
Yeah, that's
Drake,
a great tip.
Shouts to Drake.
Woo, yeah.
YOLO still applies, what, like 10 years later?
It really does, and actually this is like low-key embarrassing for me, but he was my Artist of the Decade on Spotify, and I laughed at myself. I mean, he has some bangers.
I mean, he's been on the top charts for, like, I don't even, how long has Drake been a thing?
I mean, he is the artist of our decade. I remember when I was, like, in high school, which has been a while now, it was Best I Ever Had, and that was the jam. Sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on, like.
That blew him up. I became a fan immediately after I heard that song. I was like, yo, who's this guy?
Yeah, no, he's amazing. So, but yeah, YOLO, unfortunately, as cliche as it is, it holds true.
It does.
So yeah, cool. So okay, what did you do in Tulum? So you said there's energy healers. I know that you're Mr. Mindful. Did you do any of that kind of stuff, or?
So what we did in Tulum was more of like exploring. Like we went to like the cenotes. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The cenotes are like mind blowing. Like that's something that.
So what is that?
So it's basically I don't know how many there are, but there's like 300 plus cenotes, or maybe more than that. But they're basically like these holes in the middle of the earth that are like bright blue water and like super deep, and it's like these caves. It's crazy, yeah. It's like.
Do you have photos on your Instagram?
I do.
Well,
I can't show them right now.
You'll be able to see, because we'll have Jay all his goodies linked.
Oh, amazing! That's amazing. Thanks for that.
Yes.
But yeah, so like they're like inland though, so it's not even on the coast, and it's just like this bright blue water and this like hole in the middle of the earth, and it's just like insane. And apparently like. So that's where the Mayan civilization first started, is over in that area.
Oh, wow.
And apparently they thought, like, the cenotes were, like, a portal to the underworld for, like, their gods and stuff. So it's just, like, this crazy, I don't know, there's just, it's a cool place, yeah.
But did you feel any interesting energy there, or?
Yeah, it was different, for sure. Like, it's kind of like Bali, where there's, like, that excitement in the air. But in Tulum, it was more peaceful. Because Bali, you know, you still have, like, the clubs and everyone, you know, you have all the Australians there on their spring break and stuff. But Tulum was a lot more lax in the fact that, like, everyone's just there, like, vibing, you know? Like, I don't know how to describe it, but.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. And so who'd you go there with?
I went there with just my girlfriend.
Just your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So how did you two meet? How long have you guys been together?
Yeah, so we met in college.
Okay.
And we've been together we just had our 2-year anniversary, so it's been 2 years now.
Very exciting.
Yeah, and she's awesome. We have very similar interests, and she's like all about travel and like down to see the whole world and experience as much as we can, and that's really what I wanted to find in a girlfriend, someone who like wants to experience and not just settle and like stay in their corner of the world. And so it's been awesome. Like we've only been together for 2 years, and we've gone to Bali, Tulum, and Hawaii. And then we moved here together. So we've done a lot in 2 years, and it's been awesome, and I can't wait to see what happens.
That's
as we
amazing.
move forward.
Yeah, you gotta find your tribe and find your vibe, love them hard, and yeah, exactly, see the world. That is
100%.
That is what I look for in a person as well. I definitely have had. I spoke on this before, but it's like. Everything that happens in life, like anyone you date, I don't ever think it's a mistake. I think that like you learn from, okay, well, so this was not everything that I wanted, so let's take what it was and then move forward. 100%. And for me, I need somebody who wants to explore. I've already found in myself that I have the strength and the power to go anywhere I want alone, but I would love to have somebody to go together with. And I dated someone for a long time who was not about traveling, just didn't think that he could, or. And so it's so awesome to hear that you're like, oh yeah, like I made it happen. I went for 2 months. Like that's my dream. Like just to say fuck it and go.
Yep.
But so many people have so many reasons like why not. But like my why is bigger than that. My why is I want to see the world, and I don't know how much time I have to do it. So.
I love it.
So let's do it.
I love it. He's out there.
Yeah, he is.
He's out
Absolutely,
there.
He is.
100%. And that's the thing. Like. People think everyone asks me like, oh, how do you travel and all this stuff, and they think I have all this money. Like I don't. Like I have a startup that I'm barely like, you know, And it's comes down to like willpower. Like if you
Faith.
if you really want to see the world, you can get creative and work hard to do it. Like, for example, I went to Hawaii for 2 weeks with 2 of my friends, and we couch surfed the whole time.
Oh, wow.
We didn't spend $1 on accommodation because we were like, we were in college at the time, and
that's the biggest part of the battle in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. We were in college at the time, and we had like, we had barely any money, but we were like, yo, we don't want to stay at our hometown during this spring break, so we ended up going to Hawaii. I got on Couchsurfer, and we found this lady who hosted us for like 2 weeks, and we helped around her house, and we stayed for completely free. So like, there's ways to do it, and I feel like people just, they make these excuses saying like, I'm not enough, I can't do it, like it's too expensive.
There's always an excuse, but if you really want to do something, then there should be nothing holding you back from it.
100%. 100%.
So that's awesome. So I've never done couch surfing, but I'm really interested in hearing about it, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners would be too.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, as a female, I've been a little more hesitant to do it. I feel like it's a lot of, you said you stayed with a lady, so that's cool. So I'm sure there are women on couch surfing. I made an account, but I ended up, when I travel alone, I stay in hostels just because like it's the camaraderie. Like they have like, you can do bar crawls and stuff like that, or I don't have to participate. It really just depends on the vibe. But they do cost money. Like I found one in Budapest that was crazy cheap, like $10 a night US. But then also I stayed in one in Rome that was not that a night. Like it was great and I didn't regret it, but it was expensive. So I say cut any corner you can when it comes to cost, especially if you're trying to travel for a longer period of time to see more, experience more, live more, not exist, live.
Yes.
And so let's couch surf it up. So tell us the process. Did it feel weird at all ever? And is that the only time that you've done it, or?
I've had 2 couch surfing experiences. And you gotta have an open mind going into it, because like most people who host on couch surf, they're very like
have an interesting life, probably.
They're very interesting people. But the thing about couch surfing that's really cool is it's like a dual review system. So you can see like the reviews of the people who are hosting you, and they can also see the reviews of you.
Kind of like Airbnb, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So it makes it a lot more safe. So like she was able to see that I had previously stayed somewhere, and then we were able to go in and stay there and whatever. But it was an awesome experience, and you just gotta like be open to it, because we went there and at first it was like very interesting. I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but like as we got into it, we started helping her around the house. She would like make us meals and stuff.
Really?
And, like,
so she provided your food too?
Yeah, it was great. And like we didn't like ask for food or anything, but she was so willing, and like it was just amazing. And I was like, wow, like this woman's like opening her house to 3 strangers, and it was like, it was like a block from the beach and stuff, and it was just like, yeah, it's crazy. So if you have an open mind and you're like down to get a little out of your comfort zone and kind of step into a world that is a little different than you might, experience in like a hotel or even a hostel, I would say go for it. Go for it, 100%.
So one thing I want to touch on that we talked about in the beginning, you said set your intentions. So one thing that I do, like I feel like I create my day before it happens. I wake up and I not only every day write in a gratitude journal, which I feel like just brings me more things to be grateful for, but I will write my intentions. I say I intend to, or thank you for my safe travels from here to my next destination, or and so if you intend to have a safe trip, if you intend to have good experiences, if you intend to meet good, loving people, I think that is what you attract. But if you don't set that intention, sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get, because you don't know, you really don't know what you're gonna get. But I think that, I've mentioned this before as well, but I so believe it. If you believe it's a friendly universe, I think Albert Einstein even said this. Do you believe it's a friendly universe or not? Because that's what you're going to get.
Yep. I love that.
It's so true.
I love that.
So that story is kind of like a testament to that. And like you believed that, hey, this lady's going to be friendly to us. You weren't quite sure, but you deep down in your heart, you're like, I think this is going to be great. Yeah. And that's what it ended up being.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just going in with an open mind and not being closed to like opportunity, really. But yeah, I love that. I love the intention part of it.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Yeah, because I think people can also smell fear, and it might have been different if you guys seemed afraid or just like off. But if the energy's good, then I think that's what you get back. You get back what you put out.
Exactly.
So yeah, you guys put out good energy. You're cleaning her house. She's like, okay, I'll make you guys some food. Let's go.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was a really cool experience. And then actually one of my buddies who was with me, he ended up like interning for her because she like ran the schools down there, I think. And so he flew back for another 3 months and stayed with her for another 3 months. And now, she's like a really cool person in her life. And that all started because we were poor college students and we wanted to go travel. So we got on Couchsurf and we just, sent it without really thinking about it. We were just like, all right, we're going to do it. And yeah, the rest is history.
That's so amazing and inspiring because seriously, so many people just like tell me, not even like that ex-boyfriend or whoever, they're like, oh, I can't afford to travel. Like, I don't have the time. Yes, you do.
Yeah,
you just have to know that you do. And so it's really cool to hear somebody say that because I fully believe that, like 100,000%.
Mm-hmm.
So that was in Hawaii. So that you said was one of your favorite places. So we'll transition to your final favorite place. So which island did you go to? Have you been more than once or where?
Yeah. So I've been to every island. So that specific.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that specific couchsurfing trip was in Kauai.
Okay.
But I actually stayed for like 4 or 5 months on Oahu. So like I don't know if that was a travel experience. That was more of like living there.
When was that?
So that was after college.
Okay.
Like right after college.
Before you moved here.
Yes.
Okay. I'm keeping your timeline in check.
It's an interesting timeline. So yeah, I absolutely love Hawaii. It's one of the most incredible places in the world.
Beautiful.
It's just, the beauty there, like the raw beauty is just, it's mind blowing. Like there's so many times where I was on a hike or like on a beach and I'm just like, how is this real? Like this is crazy. 'Cause like, I don't know. It's just, Hawaii's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so what was your favorite island then? I can't believe you've been to all of them. I think I've been to almost all of them. I definitely haven't been to Kauai.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's the most lush, green, beautiful, but also boring.
Yes.
But I have never been bored in my life. If you're in a beautiful place, I mean, there's no reason to be bored. You got a good book, a beach.
Facts. Yeah, let's see. I think Oahu is my favorite island just because it has that sleepy vibe like on the North Shore, but then there's like Honolulu, which is on the other side of the island. So it's like a mix of both worlds. Kind of like San Diego where it has like that chill out surf vibe, but it's like mixed with that hustle energy. So like, I don't know, that's why I liked Oahu, because like you can drive an hour away and be like totally in a remote place, but then you can go back to the city and like kind of have, more energy and whatever. So yeah, I think Oahu is probably my favorite island.
Oahu, okay, cool. Maui, I think, would be my favorite, just out of the ones that I've been to, because it is definitely more chill than Oahu.
True.
And just gorgeous, like all over the island. There's so many cool spots, like Kaanapali, Kihei, anywhere you hop in a jeep and get to, it's like you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna get a tan and hopefully have a Mai Tai.
That's a funny story, actually.
Let's hear it. We love funny stories.
So when we first moved to Oahu, we like you said, Hawaii's expensive. It's not like Asia where you can just go and get like a $4 moped for a day or whatever.
We in America,
right?
Okay?
Yeah, Hawaii's still America, so we were like, no, we can't. We're not going to spend money on a rental car. So I went to Craigslist, looked up.
Oh, good old Craig.
Looked up vans and found a $300 like beat up surf van that was barely running.
Wow.
So I bought that for $300. I wouldn't recommend it. It wasn't very smart. Cause, like,
Why? What happened?
Well, just because, like, it wasn't registered and stuff. Like, we got insurance, but we
were
just...
I was going to say, did you get in trouble, or...?
We got pulled over once, and he let us off.
Okay.
But, anyways, we got it for $300, and then when we left, we sold it for $600.
Oh, there you go.
So we made $300 instead of paying for a rental car. So that's...
Thank you, universe.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that's a travel hack, because it's kind of, like, not very smart, but maybe it is. It is a travel hack.
It is.
Maybe
Our last guest, she, in Australia, she bought a van for, she said something like $3,000 or something crazy, but she sold it for, like, $35, so she made $500 on it after she'd been there for 2 months.
There you go.
That is an amazing travel hack. Yeah. So I'm glad that you just, reaffirmed that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because, you know what? I'd never have thought of that. I would probably just rent a car. But, no, we need money-saving tips. We do.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is just getting creative with it. Like, every part of travel you can get creative with, you know? Like, there's ways to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So, have you been to Maui, though, you said? So, what did you think about Kona?
Kona was super rad. It was super rad because, like, it has stuff that all the other islands doesn't have, like the black sand beaches and, like, I don't know, the terrain is a lot different. And you can go up, like...
I had a friend lose a toenail. Because
really?
the beaches are rocky, like, kind of more rocky.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a lot more land there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So that was... I mean, I liked Kona, for sure. And I went there with, like, my whole family. So I usually just travel with, like, me and my girlfriend or me and my friends. But that was a unique trip because I was with my whole entire family.
Oh, wow.
So that was really fun. And but I didn't really get to go out and adventure like I usually do.
But yeah, when you're with your family, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly. So we were kind of just in the house that we were in. We did a bunch of cool stuff, but it wasn't like the same type of experience that I would have had on my own. But Kona's amazing. Yeah, I mean, all the islands are just incredible.
Do we miss any?
Yeah.
What else?
Oh, the islands?
Yeah.
I thought you said, did you miss any of that? Okay. There's the small ones. What are they called? I don't think we missed any.
The big ones that people would travel to, we covered.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's good. Great. Okay, and then so since we also love craft cocktails, what's your favorite Hawaiian drink? Are you a lava flow guy?
Ooh.
Are you a Mai Tai man? Are you?
I could go for a good Mai Tai. Yeah.
I love a good Mai Tai.
Yeah, down on Waikiki, there's like all those spots that serve fire drinks. So yeah.
Yes, so good, so fun. Okay, great. So then let's transition a little bit to keeping everyone up to date. So you said you've traveled a lot with your girlfriend.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Have you ever traveled by yourself?
I have. Well, not internationally, but I've been to like U.S. places by myself.
Like where?
My first solo experience was in New York, and that was kind of crazy.
Okay, let's hear about that. We love crazy.
Well, it wasn't like crazy rowdy, but it was just crazy in the fact that like it was my first solo trip, and I was going to like the most populated city
In New
in
York,
the US.
I literally think of New York, and I just picture myself looking up and spinning around.
Yeah, no, that's how it felt. Seriously, when I got there, I was like, whoa, like this is like, sensory overload. Like, I don't know. And so it was like being in New York combined with like my first time traveling alone. Like it was just a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, it was just a lot. Like I like big cities, but New York was just like sensory overload for me.
To me, I like big cities for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my first solo experience. And it was interesting. Like I stayed in an Airbnb in Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
In like a bad neighborhood on accident.
Okay, thug nasty.
It was on accident.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like saw an Airbnb. I was like, yo, why is this so cheap? Like I'm gonna book this, but I didn't really like look into where I was booking.
Sometimes you
And-
get what you pay for, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that was an experience, and like yeah, it was an experience for sure.
And how long were you there?
I was only there for a week.
Did you do the touristy stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went up to like the Rockefeller and Times Square and all that, and it was really cool. But yeah, New York's just kind of a little too much for me. I like to like chill and hang out. And,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it was
I can see that.
awesome. It was awesome.
You have to go to New York at least once in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually have not been there, and I think this year with everything going on with COVID, that this is going to be a great year for U.S. travel.
Right.
So yeah, there's so many spots on my list. New York being very, very top of the list. I really want to go to like Austin and Nashville. I would super love that.
Yes.
Where are your favorite places in the U.S. that you've been?
Yeah, I think the U.S. is underrated.
Yeah, totally.
I love traveling internationally, but that's another thing is like if you don't have a lot of money, like just hop in your car and go to a national park or like
hop in your car or Southwest because flights are looking right now.
True.
They really are.
In the U.S., I mean, I haven't been to the East Coast a lot. I like to stay on the West Coast. So I love California. Obviously, California is like my favorite state in the U.S.
I knew I named this drink right.
Yeah, for sure. You did. But I love my home. I love the Pacific Northwest as well.
Yeah.
Like it's the nature there. It's just like so green, and there's so many hikes and like beautiful rivers, and it's amazing. So I love the PNW. I definitely recommend the PNW if you ever have a chance. And then our national parks are just beautiful. I can't think of it. Joshua Tree is really cool.
Yep, that's real close to us.
Yosemite is really amazing. What else? I don't know. The U.S. is underrated, basically. That's what I wanted to say.
Have you been to Sedona or the Grand Canyon?
I haven't, no. It's on my list, though.
Please go. So how you were talking about you love the good vibes. I know you do. I feel the good vibes from you. So a place that I think you would absolutely, place that you would absolutely adore is Sedona. So every year for my birthday, I like to go somewhere new. This year didn't happen. I am a May baby, so I was a little quarantine queen, but I still had a great little birthday, so it was good. But 2 years ago, we went to Sedona. They have this really cool thing, and I love to research my trips heavily before I go because time is of the essence, as we know. And so there is this energy vortex. It's called an energy healing vortex. So me and my friends went and got crystals beforehand, and you go on this hike. And I'm somebody who's already really in tune to like the vibes that I receive, and I think we all have that inside of us, whether or not everyone's open up to it. But as I was walking and taking this hike up to the top of this rock, it's called Cathedral Rock, you could feel the energy like change in the air. And so it was super amazing. You get up to the top and you kind of just take it in, and we sat there and meditated with our stones.
Yes,
and
I love it.
It was really cool. And then the next day we drove to the Grand Canyon. So if you're going to go to Arizona, I definitely recommend staying in Sedona versus if you go stay by the Grand Canyon, it's just not as beautiful. I mean,
Right.
the Grand Canyon's cool, but it's going to be more expensive, real touristy, just not as aesthetic as Sedona. It is so beautiful.
It's on my list. I'm all about the aesthetics, for sure.
Good.
For sure.
Okay, so you said you traveled to Bali with your girlfriend and a group of friends. Were there any, so I'm sure it was amazing. Let's hear the good things. Were there any like bumps in the road? Because I'm sure a lot of us have either traveled with a partner or are thinking about it or, would want to in the future. And I know that there are like definite things that could go wrong.
Yeah, I would say the thing with like having that group setting and then also traveling with your partner is just like the difference of what people want to do and plan and stuff. Like, because, I had like 3 of my boys who were there. It was like, oh, I want to do this, but then
your girl,
yeah,
she's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, like we want to go hang out and do something else. And so I think that's one of the battles is just like having a collective plan every day and like people wanting to do the same thing. So that was a big challenge, I think, of just like trying to get everyone on the same page, I guess. And then other than that, I mean, it was pretty smooth. Other than that, like I think that was the biggest pain point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biggest pain point, yeah. Just that's why, honestly, I've traveled with big groups of girlfriends, and it's always super fun. But people don't always want to do the same things.
Right.
So that's just a pain point, I think, with like any kind of group you travel with. And have you guys gone anywhere just you two?
Yeah. So we went to Tulum in Hawaii, just us.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's really fun. I mean, traveling with. I mean, not only is everything 50% cheaper.
Yeah.
But like, you have someone to like lean on for ideas, and like you don't always have to do the planning yourself. Like, she'll be like, oh, look at this dope hike, and I'll be like, yeah, let's go. Like instead of me having to like do it myself or like having to research for an entire group of guys or something. Like, she's very like proactive with that. So that's another perk of traveling with your partner is just having someone to like lean on to go and do stuff together. So.
Yeah, well, good. Yeah, what a woman. I know me, I love to kind of be in control of what I'm seeing. Not in control, but I like to just know, like, I want to see all these things, and like I'm open to other things too, but I like to have an idea because I don't want to miss out, and so that's great. So you guys kind of split that, or would you say one of you is more the planner?
I think it's a healthy split for sure, and we do the same thing. Like, when we go somewhere, we have like a list of places that we for sure want to go. Like, okay, these are the top 4 places that we have to go to no matter what. And then the rest is kind of just like, we'll wake up and say, oh, this place looks cool, we'll go there or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we both have a good balance with that for sure.
So where are you guys thinking about next?
We want to go to Australia, I think. Australia would be really cool.
Okay, well, since we know your buy a car travel hack worked in Australia as well.
True.
How long do you guys think you would stay there?
I think, like I said, back to staying like longer rather than a short amount of time. I think like at least 3 weeks would be. Yeah.
Australia for sure. It's huge.
And it's huge. Actually, probably even longer. Like one of my buddies actually went. He did the same thing. He went and got a van and he drove around the whole place for like a year. Yeah, and he had his little van and he was just solo in it and slept in his van and he went pretty much around the entire country.
Wow.
But yeah, I heard Australia is amazing. It looks incredible. So
amazing. Yeah, I'd love to see kangaroo, koala.
Yes.
Just hang out on Bondi, all that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And then so what does she do? Because you guys obviously can go for long periods of time and stuff. So she's kind of figured her stuff out as well. Yeah.
So she's in marketing too. So she actually runs the social media for a company called Fresh Clean Teas. So she does digital media and marketing.
So you guys are kind of in the same sort of wavelength?
Yeah, and this actually isn't my full-time income yet. This is like a very like new startup, so it's all going back into the business. So that's what I do as well, is I do digital marketing for brands.
Okay, cool.
So that's kind of what has allowed us to travel, is being able to like freelance.
Be digital.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what our goal is still. Like we're not able to do it full-time yet, but that's what we want to get to, is like live that digital nomad lifestyle where we can hop on a laptop and be able to pay for whatever we need to do while we're traveling. And that's really the ultimate goal.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we're both into digital marketing. So we run like the social media for brands and personalities. And right now I'm doing that remotely for a couple brands right now. And then I did that for Blenders Eyewear when I first moved here.
Oh, okay. We all know Blenders.
Yeah, so I was their in-house social media manager for the first like 8 or 9 months when I moved here.
Did they hook you up with some shades?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, it was an amazing experience. I loved working there, but I wanted to give the office life a shot just to like get my feet here and you know, kind of establish my roots in San Diego. And then I realized like I need to have a digital income. So after that, I started freelancing, and now I'm to a point where I think I could probably pick up and go and be able to still make an income while I'm traveling. So I'm finally starting to get to that spot, because like before that, I would save up and then go travel and like have a few freelance clients here and there, but it wasn't something that I could sustain. So I think I'm finally getting to the point where I can be able to do that, which feels incredible.
It's amazing, and it's because you believed in yourself, because I know it's scary. Like, I don't want to ever have to clock in anywhere a day in my life, right? But you have to, first of all, have the idea of what you're going to do, like what service you're going to give. I don't know if you've ever read Think and Grow Rich.
I have, yeah.
But so I like to revisit it all the time. It's one of my absolute favorites. But it's like, you know, you can have any riches you want, just thinking that you can, but you have to have kind of a definite plan. Like, what am I going to give in exchange for these services? And so one thing I really want to touch on that we haven't got to yet is your amazing photography on your page.
Thank you.
So how do we get these beautiful, bright colors? As we know, I'm a huge fan of beautiful and bright. So yeah, let's talk about that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so really the photography stuff happened after my first trip to Thailand. I think it was like a sophomore in college, I think it was freshman in college.
Are these iPhone photos?
Some of them are, but no, I have a Sony and stuff.
Okay.
When I first started, it was an iPhone, but then I got
iPhone
Canon
takes great pics, but you just never know sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
So after I went to Thailand, that was really like my first international travel experience, and I was like, dude, like I really want to share this with the world. Like, I realized like I was in this tiny little corner of the world, and then I went, you know, and experienced this place, and it was just so amazing, and I wanted to document it. And that was before like all this Instagram influencer, like all that stuff came out. And that's when I picked up a camera. I was like, I need to share these experiences with people. Like, I want to show that it's possible to get out and like experience something else. You know what I mean? And so that's where I picked up the camera. And then it kind of just went from there. Like, everywhere I'd travel, I'd just take photos, and I got better and better at it. And I would just hit YouTube every night and watch how to edit and how to, you know, and I just kind of
Shout out YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. YouTube is incredible. You can learn anything in the world on that platform.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of how the photography was birthed. And then from there, I've been doing it for like 6-7 years now. So it's been amazing, yeah.
Yeah, practice makes perfect. Honestly, guys, I can't wait for you to look at his page. It is so beautiful. Like,
Thank you.
I get on your page, and I'm like, okay, I want to go on a trip. I need a picture of me like in the middle of this frame, because I know for me, like, one of my favorite things to do before I go on any trip is study where I want to take pictures.
Yep.
And I plan my outfits, and this is not a joke.
My girlfriend does the same thing.
Yeah, it's a girl thing. So yeah, once again, we're so excited to have our first boy, because I know, like, all my girls watching, that's what we do. We, like, plan out our pictures, and also
find an Instagram boyfriend. I'll just say that.
That was my next point. Thank you. So as dating is one of our topics, like, not only do I want my man, you're out there, I know, and you're listening, to want to travel all over the world with me, like, you better get those angles for me, baby.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, I need the angles. I need the editing skills. We want the bright lights, big city. Let's go. I want my traveling photographer committee. Okay.
100%.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So she lucked out. She got a built-in world traveling, amazing, mindful man. So what's your girlfriend's name?
Thank you. Her name's Kate.
Kate, shout out to Kate.
Shout out Kate.
Shout out Kate. And honestly, we're all so excited to watch and follow along with your guys' next adventures.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, who knows when they're going to be, just because of all this craziness. But I do feel like hopefully soon. I mean, flights are still going, and, you know, people's desire to travel is growing. I know mine is just like, I cannot wait to just get out. So
Same.
So have you been taking pictures here in San Diego at all? Or
I have, yeah.
We have some gorgeous sunsets, especially lately.
I have,
been hot.
This is actually one of my favorite places to take photos, honestly. Just because, like, there's so many spots with, like, all the palm trees and beaches, and it's, I love taking photos here, and, like, there's a big community of photographers here as well, so, yeah, it's been awesome. And, like, the other thing with photography is, like, when I first started, I knew that it would be, like, a valuable asset to brands and hotels and stuff, so I've also traveled through my photography where I'll just, you know, reach out, email or DM a hotel, and I'll be like, hey, I'm planning on being in Tulum on this date. Like, would you be interested in exchange for photos in exchange for stay? And I'll message like 100, you know, hotels or whatever, and a few will get back to me.
On Instagram or email? Yeah, Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, man, ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, so I've traveled through my photography essentially just by giving them photos for their properties in exchange for, per stay.
And so do you get a lot of like positive responses or?
Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of work. Like you have to, email. Like for Tulum, I had this VA. She emailed like 100 hotels, and like 3 of them got back to us, and they were all amazing. So I ended up shooting photos for their hotel in exchange for stay. So that's also something you can do. Is like, if you want to travel, like look into the skills that they need. Hotels, they need content, they need photography, they need social media. So
if there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, make it happen.
If you can build up a skill that will allow you to travel for free, then you can start like today. Like look up how to take a photo, how to look up how to manage a social media account, and then you can start building those skills, and then you can offer them to companies, and it's like a trade, it's like a barter system basically.
Totally. So you have a nice little following. When do you think that started kind of going for you?
Yeah, so I think that accumulated after I went on some of these travels, like after Thailand, and after like people started noticing my page, I guess. And then I would also get a lot of features from like the big travel pages like Earth Pics. And
were you Earth Pics?
Yeah, I got a few. I got a couple.
Were you tagging them?
Yeah. So that's another tactic.
Tag, hashtag.
Yeah. If you're a travel photographer, make sure that you're tagging like your ideal feature page, because that's kind of how I started getting my following. It's definitely like I've hit a roadblock. Like it's hard to gain anymore, but in the early days, I got featured by like the big travel photography accounts, and that's kind of how I started getting the following.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I would love to hear, you've been to all these beautiful beachy places. Like, let's hear one amazing, funny, crazy, scary, like one of your best travel stories.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so in Thailand, this is my first, like I said like 100 times, this is my first international travel experience. And this is the first night I was there.
Okay.
First night I was there, so we went to this place in Bangkok called Koh San Road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just this, like, crazy lined street with vendors and backpackers and all these restaurants, and everyone's, like, blacked out, and it's a rowdy...
This is not an exaggeration.
It's a rowdy first night experience. So what happened is we went there, it was a first night, so we were stoked, ended up, drinking and stuff, and there's a ton of transgender women who walk around the streets and try to get business and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I love a good ladyboy.
Yeah, they call them, ladyboy, exactly. So
some of them are legit.
Oh, yeah. So there's the story. So we were.
Oh boy.
So we were walking down. We're walking down Koh San Road, and a ladyboy approaches us. She's about like 6'2", like built, right?
Yeah.
Built.
And
so I was with my friend Riley, and he was he was pretty drunk. So he was going with it. Like she came up to us, and he put her arm around her and stuff. And I wasn't trying to be derogatory or anything, but I was just like, dude, like look, like
Dude, that's a dude.
Yeah, and then.
Dude, it's a dude.
Yeah, and then she heard me, got back, clocked me in the jaw. My first night in Thailand, clocked. Like, I was like, I didn't get knocked out, but I was like super disoriented. And then when I got up, she was gone. I was like spitting blood and stuff. Yeah, it was crazy. And that was my first experience in Bangkok, and I was like, wow, Asia is insane.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's honestly hilarious. I'm sorry. Did your friend realize?
It's a great story now. Yeah, he did. He was. I mean, I it's hard to remember it, but like, yeah, that's what happened. I got socked by a ladyboy.
Okay.
In Bangkok.
That is like honestly like all you could ask for, really. Yeah. Like, I mean, kind of a crazy happening, but. It happened, and it's hilarious. So.
Yeah, and then it's this good story.
It's a great story. Okay, and then so do we have a redeeming moment? Because that's enough to start off your trip not on a great note.
Yeah, after that, it was smooth sailing from there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was incredible time after that. Like, I was kind of on edge after that. Like, I was like, I don't know about this. Like,
did you guys go to like a ladyboy show? I doubt it. You thought you were gonna get. We didn't. I did. It was really fun.
But I had PTSD from it. Like, every time I was walking around, I was on eggshells, you know what I mean? But no, it was amazing. But I really like the islands there. They're way more lax, but Bangkok was a little too much.
Bangkok was crazy. There were so many parts that were so beautiful, like the temples, and I went to like crazy cool museums, but it was a little like dirty and scary in
Yeah.
some spots, but
For sure.
I will forever think about my $6 massages daily.
Yes.
And mango sticky rice and
Yes. Oh my god.
and on all that good stuff. But so did you do any shopping while you were there? Like, I know for girls,
Yes.
like I got some really cool dresses and stuff like that. Like, what'd you grab?
Yeah, they have, like, if you go to Thailand, well, you've been there, but if you go to Thailand, they have like every brand that's knockoff, though.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I got
be
like,
careful.
yeah, but I got like $1 Nike shirts and but it looked real.
Yeah.
They do a really good job at that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend doing that, but
Yeah, be careful, because I read before I went to not buy knockoff, purses, like stuff like that, because they check before you leave. I even bought this beautiful like roll up Buddha head, and they almost didn't like let me take it through customs because the wood, and they thought there would be termites or something in it, or I don't know, something crazy. But luckily I made it through, because I carried that thing through 3 weeks of my trip. I would have killed someone if I didn't get to bring it through. But yeah, you can buy so many cool things. Just, watch around the corner for ladyboys.
Yeah, for real.
So, okay, that's great. And then, so that's the craziest story. And any more crazy things that have happened? Because that's, I think, pretty much at the top.
Yeah, that's my craziest. The rest is just, I like to have fun, but I just like to relax too. So I don't really have anything like too insane.
Yeah.
Okay, in Bali, this is kind of a crazy story.
Okay, we love this.
Okay, so we were in Bali. My buddy shows up. We've been there for like 2 weeks already. And he was going to get a moped. So, yeah, so
Anxiety every time.
Yeah, so I texted my local contact, and she was like, hey, this guy has a moped for you. He'll rent it to you for X amount, whatever it was. And then she was like, this is his number. So I hit him up. He's like, meet me here. I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. And he was like, meet me in this spot, and we'll have the moped. So we got on my moped. He got on the back of it. And we ended up like going down there, and we couldn't find him at all. Like, he wasn't there. And I was like, where are you? He wasn't answering. And then this random Balinese dude comes up. He's like, hey, you looking for the moped? And we're like, yeah. He's like, it's down here. He's like, get on the back. So we're like, wait, what?
Sketch.
Like, why can't you just bring it to us? He's like, no. Like, he didn't speak English. So we were like, all right, like, should we do it? And so we ended up
Your senses were tingling.
Yeah, so I don't know, it was a scary situation, but I was like, yeah, sure. So we got on the back of this guy's moped. So we had 3 dudes on this tiny little moped, and then he starts driving, like, down this secluded alley, like, super dark alley, and I'm like, dude, this is, like, should we jump off? And so we ended up not jumping off. We went through this secluded alley, and, like, I'm, like, sweating, like, freaking out, and then we end up finding the guy. Like, he took us to the guy. But it was, like, so weird. Like, we went through this dark alley, and we thought we were going to get our heads chopped off. And,
well, yeah.
But we ended up getting to the guy. He had the moped, and we were good. But, like, yeah, just, like, that fear of, like, being in a foreign country and, like, not knowing, like, no one spoke English. And, like, I don't know. It was crazy.
Well, so it worked out, and luckily for you, you had friends with you, and you did have to ride a little mandem. So my dad rides motorcycles, and we call that mandem, man to man. You know what I mean? So had to get a little of that going on. So we had to sacrifice, but we got the moped.
Yes.
We made it in one piece. We had a great trip in Bali.
Yes. Then we crashed the moped like twice.
Did you?
Well, actually I only crashed once, but Bali's scary. So
let's talk about why crashes are so prevalent. Is it because of like recklessness or the roads, or?
I think it's both. It's like,
because I did not ride a moped in the middle.
I think Asia itself is just like organized chaos. Like,
oh, absolutely.
In all of Bali, I think there was like 2 stoplights.
It would not fly here. Yeah.
Yeah. There was like 2 stoplights, but hundreds of people on the road. So, I mean, I think it's just inevitable. Like, I mean, yeah, there's just hundreds of people on the road. There's no stop signs, and everyone just kind of like, it just works, I guess. But then, yeah, I don't know. There's just a ton of people like mixed with the recklessness of like being in a foreign country, and like, I'm sure there's a lot of like drunk driving that goes on and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
Well, so we'll circle back to that. If you set an intention for a safe journey, hopefully that will not have you end up on a gurney.
Yes.
So, guys, we are going to wrap it up. We are so happy that we got to talk to Jay today. This was such a great episode. We got to talk about Hawaii, Bali, Tulum. Please check out his Instagram and his amazing business. I love that he is so mindful, and he knows what he wants and goes after it, and he gets it. We all can do the exact same thing. So, once again, thank you guys for joining us. So glad to keep you up to date, and we'll see you next time.